This is part 3 of chapter number 11. In the last part, we derived the aggregate demand curve using the ISLM framework. Now, we already knew that aggregate demand, it captures the relationship between price and output level. So in order to derive this aggregate demand curve, what we did was that we changed the price level and we figured out कि इस price level के तब्दील होने से खाली LM curve shift करता है. In this particular case, we assumed a price increase, which is going to result in a leftward shift or an inward shift in the LM curve. And you can see from the diagram, or you can read from the diagram, that a price increase hogi, Y is going to decrease as a result. So joining all these points together will give us the aggregate demand curve. So just to keep this point in mind, that if the LM curve is shifting because of change in price level, that would result in movement along the aggregate demand curve. But aggregate demand के shift होने की वजह can be because of shift in the LM curve, because of any reason other than price, or aggregate demand can also shift because of shift in the IS curve. So if you remember from the last part, we did 2 additional cases which can result in shift in the aggregate demand curve. The first case was that when money supply increases, and we figured out that increase in money supply would be followed by a rightward shift in the aggregate demand curve. We also did another example where there was an increase in G or a decrease in taxes. Iski wajah se again, IS curve is going to shift rightward, which would translate into a rightward shift in the aggregate demand curve as well. So now, we're going to study about IS, LM, and aggregate demand and aggregate supply in the short run and in the long run. Now, before I go into this, you first need to recall from chapter 9, the forces that move the economy from short run to the long run is the gradual adjustment of prices. If you remember this table, we did this table in chapter number 9, and it basically shows me that if in the short run, output is greater than the natural rate of production, this will result in prices to rise over time. And the reason for this was as follows. Whenever you're producing more than the full capacity, ठीक है, आप ये natural rate of output को consider this to be the full capacity at which the economy, this is the full capacity of production of the economy. Now, if you're producing more than this full capacity, you must be overusing your resources. Okay, so you must be using your labor capital resources over time. So as a result, you will have to pay more to the factors of production. So as the cost of production increases, this will gradually result in increase in output prices as well. Similarly, if output level is less than the natural level of production or the full output level, this means that you are underutilizing your resources. ठीक है, आप अपने resources को ज़रूरत से कम पे इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. You're using the labor resource, the capital input at less than its full capacity. So as a result, the cost of production is going to reduce, and when cost of production reduces, जाहिर सी बात है, product prices is going to fall as a result. ठीक है, so इसीलिए यहाँ लिखा हुआ है कि whenever y is less than y bar, over time the prices will fall. When y is equal to y bar, then the prices are going to remain constant. So keeping this in the backdrop, let's proceed further and look at the long run and the short run effect of an IS shock. अगर आपको chapter 9 से अगर आपको मतलब if you recall from chapter 9, the lower panel we have already studied. ठीक है, I explained to you that in the short run equilibrium is established, or let me correct myself, in the long run equilibrium is established where the long run aggregate supply curve cuts the aggregate demand curve, and since the prices have also adjusted to this level, the short run aggregate supply curve is also going to pass through this point. So this is my initial equilibrium, and I can call this point A. Now here, let's suppose what happens is that there is an adverse or a negative IS shock, which can happen because of decrease in consumption, government spending, or it can be because of many other reasons. So let's suppose that aggregate demand curve shifts inwards because of decrease in government spending. So in the short run, because prices are sticky, we tend to move from A to point B. Now notice that at point B, prices are the same as before, but output level is now less than the natural rate of output level. आप खुद ही going back to this table here, you can see whenever y is less than y bar, this is going to result in prices to fall over time. So this will put downward pressure on the prices. So prices will continue to fall until we reach our equilibrium C, which is called the long run equilibrium. So this is called the long run equilibrium because at this point, again, the long run aggregate supply curve cuts this new aggregate demand curve. So हमारी जो है ना transition वो कुछ यूं हुई कि in the short run we moved from A to B, but in the long run, because of fall in prices, we are going to gradually move back to our natural rate of production level, which is Y bar. ठीक है? So we're going to move back to point C. Point C पे notice करें prices have been permanently pushed downwards, whereas output level is back to its original level. Now, ये तो हम खैर chapter 9 में पढ़ चुके थे. Now I'm basically adding the ISLM framework to this entire picture. ISLM framework is going to give me additional information with respect to what happens to the interest rate in the short and in the long run. Aggregate demand और aggregate supply के मॉडल से मुझे ये पता चल रहा है कि शॉर्ट रन में प्राइसेस स्टेबल रहती हैं, लॉन्ग रन में प्राइसेस डिक्रीज करती हैं. The aggregate demand and aggregate supply model, it's not powerful enough to explain what is happening to the interest rate as a result. उसको डिटरमिन करने के लिए इंटरेस्ट रेट को क्या हो रहा है उस चीज को देखने के लिए I will have to make use of my ISLM framework which I've just developed. So I'm adding this ISLM framework here. Now let me just first rub the additional things. Okay, now going over this diagram one more time. हो क्या रहा है कि initial equilibrium is going to occur at this point. Okay, so you can see that इसको मैं initial equilibrium इसलिए कह रही हूँ because here my IS cuts the LM curve and इत्तेफाक ऐसा है कि the production, the level of output that the economy is producing, this is equal to is the full production level. That is why the long run aggregate supply curve can be positioned at this point. Okay, so I explained to you earlier on in chapter number 9 that long run aggregate supply curve, it doesn't depend upon the prices. Hamari in the long run production depends upon the factors of production and it depends upon the technology. As long as those are constant, Y bar is constant. So I can position my long run aggregate supply curve at this point. So ये मेरा initial equilibrium है. Now let's suppose G decreases. So if you remember, this is going to affect only the goods market. Okay, so if you remember, in the goods market, equilibrium is established where the supply for goods and services, which is Y, this is equal to the demand for goods and services, which is C plus interest rate, which in turn is a function of it's C plus investment, which in turn is a function of interest rate plus G. So इस केस में हो ये रहा है कि there is an adverse demand shock. ठीक है, there is an adverse a negative IS shock. यानी let's suppose G decreases. So you can see when G decreases, if G decreases for a given R, Y will decrease. So when G decreases for a given R, ठीक है, for a given R, Y is going to decrease. So this is going to result, since this is going to be true for all the points along the IS curve, my entire IS curve is going to shift inwards. So as a result, the new equilibrium is established at this point where interest rate पहले के मुकाबले में कम है और output level is also less than the natural rate of or the full out production level. Okay. So what you can see over here is that देखिए IS curve अंदर को shift हो रहा है. This is going to result in an inward shift in the aggregate demand curve as well, because यहाँ हो क्या रहा है, for the given price level, for the given when at the initial price level of P1, my initial output was Y bar, so it's this point, ठीक है? So ये वाला जो point है ना, on the top panel, it corresponds to this point on the bottom panel. Now, as a result, when IS curve decreases, my new equilibrium is established at this point, which means that at the same price level, which is P1, output declines to this level. ठीक है? So ये वाला जो point है ऊपर, this corresponds to this point down. ठीक है? So this point corresponds to this point over here on the lower panel. So as a result, this will result in an inward shift in the aggregate demand curve. इसको हम जरा systematic तरीके से देख लेते हैं. Now, what is happening over here is कि आपको faded मैंने lines कर दी हैं so that you know that the initial equilibrium was IS1, but because of decrease in government spending, IS curve shifts inwards. So this is the new equilibrium which corresponds to this on the lower panel. So आप notice करें कि as a result, in the short run, Y is now less than Y bar. ठीक है? So we just अभी जो मैंने आपको टेबल दिखाया था उससे आपको पता चलना चाहिए कि over time prices will gradually fall, which will result the short-run aggregate supply to move down, and this will also result in M divided by P to increase, which causes LM curve to move down. Right? So when prices decrease, आप देख सकते हैं जब prices fall करेंगी ना, the real money supply is going to increase. Okay, so when real money supply increases, I figured it out earlier on that this is going to result in my LM curve to shift rightwards. Okay, so my LM curve rightwards shift होगा, यानी बाहर की तरफ shift होगा. Okay, so this is the final picture here. So what you see over here is that in the short run, because of decrease in aggregate demand, I move from this point here, this was the initial equilibrium, to this point here. ठीक है? So in the short run, मुझे पता है prices sticky रहती हैं. So price at the same price level, my production decreases, which is below the full employment output level. So this is going to result in decrease in price level. और मुझे पता है कि जब price level decrease होता है, this is going to result in LM curve to shift rightwards. So आप देख सकते हैं LM curve moves to this green line here. So as a result, आप देख सकते हैं output is gradually increasing. So short-term aggregate supply जो है ना, वो gradually नीचे की तरफ adjust कर रहा है, और LM curve तब तक rightward shift करेगा जब तक we are back to Y bar again. Okay, so you can see a process चलता जाएगा. LM curve rightward shift होता जाएगा, prices gradually नीचे adjust करती जाएंगी जब तक we are back to Y bar. तो देखो वही बात जो हमने chapter 9 में पढ़ी, जब there is an adverse demand shock, in the short run we move from A to B. ठीक है? We move from point A to point B here. लेकिन because of downward revision of prices, we move to point C here. That is again at point C, again you can notice that Y is equal to is Y bar. So हम घूमते घामते वापस जो है ना full employment level पे आ जाएंगे if the government doesn't intervene here. लेकिन इसकी जो पीछे मैकेनिज्म है वो अब आपको यहाँ नजर आ रहा है ऊपर वाले पैनल में कि whenever the IS is going to shift downwards, this is going to देखो your output level is now less than the full output level, which is going to put downward pressure on prices. Because of the downward pressure on prices, जब price तब्दील होती है तो LM curve बाहर की तरफ shift होता है, और LM तब तक shift करेगा, यानी price तब तक कम होगी until we are again back at Y bar. So if I ask you what is the long run and the short run effect of the IS shock, my answer would be that in the short run, because of this shock, my interest rate decreased to this level here. लेकिन because prices further adjusted downwards, जिसकी वजह से interest rate मेरा further decrease करेगा, y will increase until I am back to this point here. So in the long run, my interest rate will decline and my output level will come back to my original level. अगर आप मुझसे पूछे कि prices को क्या होगा in the short run and the long run, so I can answer that question using the information in the lower panel. So the lower panel tells me that because of the negative IS shock, in the short run prices remain sticky, but over time, because LM curve is shifting rightwards, this will gradually result in decrease in price level until I'm back at C. So in the long run, prices are down from P1 to P2, but the output level is back to Y bar. Okay. So in short, because of this adverse IS shock, interest rates are going to fall in the short run, और लॉन्ग रन में वो मजीद फॉल करेंगे until we are back at Y bar. Prices के अगर हवाले से बात की जाए तो in the short run prices remain sticky, but over time prices are going to gradually adjust downwards until the output level is back at Y bar. Okay. So this is the final picture. So this process continues until economy reaches the long run equilibrium, which is y is equal to is y bar. ठीक है, मैंने आपको ये फाइनल पिक्चर जो है ना, इसका मैकेनिज्म एक्सप्लेन किया है कि जब आईएस कर्व अंदर की तरफ शिफ्ट होता है तो उसका शॉर्ट रन इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा, आप देख सकते हैं कि इनिशियल इक्विलिब्रियम ये था ना. सो शॉर्ट रन में वी गोइंग टू मूव फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट टू दिस पॉइंट, एंड इन द लॉन्ग रन वी मूव फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट हियर टू दिस पॉइंट. ठीक है, दिस इज आवर फाइनल डेस्टिनेशन. अगर आप ISLM फ्रेमवर्क को देखें तो इनिशियल इक्विलिब्रियम ये था. शॉर्ट रन में वी मूव फ्रॉम हेयर टू हेयर, in the long run we move from this point back to this point. ठीक है, and this should not come as a surprise to you कि ये वाला point जो है it corresponds to this point on the lower panel. ये जो point है on the upper panel, it corresponds to this point on the lower panel, and this final point here, this point, this corresponds to this point on the lower panel. Okay. So I'm going to stop this part at this point, and we're going to do this exercise in the next part.